Hey guys, welcome to episode 8 of the Daily Hustle Podcast. My name is Kelvin and I'm here with Mel today. We
Hi.
are at Mel's office. And Mel, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. Can't complain.
Awesome. So, Mel, like we said, we're in your office today. Explain to us what you do for work.
I'm an associate partner at Optimum Business Advisory. So we're basically an accounting firm located in Southwest
Mm-hmm.
Sydney.
Yeah,
Basically, we specialize in compliance and business coaching.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's basically, well, there's a wide scope of things that
Yeah.
we do,
Mm,
but that's basically
cool.
where
And
we're
so,
at.
how did we meet?
How did we meet?
Yeah.
Now, I was not very motivated in going to the gym, but then I decided one day that I would go to the gym, considering I've been a member of Anytime Fitness for a few years now.
Yeah.
And as I was going to the car park,
Uh-huh.
I hear someone go, "Excuse me, are you new?" No, but I decided to rock up at the gym. And I feel like it was just really meant to be that I met you
Yeah.
because now you're getting me on track with my fitness goals.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like everything else is on track, but I was just neglecting that little part, which was my
Yeah.
fitness,
Mhm.
and now I feel like I'm
Yeah.
getting that on track. So,
Well, yeah, that is a funny story. Essentially, I was training a client. It was early in the morning, like 6 or 7 o'clock or something, and I saw Mel rock up, and she was doing a bit of like
Random.
cable stuff, machine stuff, and I could tell that she didn't really know what she was doing because she was going to all these random machines doing whatever, and so I was like, "Oh, that's someone that I could potentially help."
she's lost.
And so I waited for my client to finish. I was just hoping. I was like, "Oh, I hope she doesn't leave before my client leaves."
Yeah.
But then you did. And so I just said to my client, just give me 1 sec. I ran out of the door because you're already in the car park. I
Yeah.
ran out of the door and I was like, hey, excuse me,
You
excuse me.
scared me.
Yeah, did I?
I was like,
And so I was like,
"Who's
hey, are you new to the gym? And you're like, no, I just haven't been here for a while. And so basically I just said, hey, I can definitely help you out. And I think I offered you a complimentary session to get you back into the gym. And then we went from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it, but I feel like it just kind of went well because I don't know. It's been a long time that I've been struggling with my fitness goals.
Yeah.
And I feel like at that very moment, that's when I had that mentality that I was like, look, I've really got to do something.
Yeah.
New year. It was like I think it was like nearly the end of the
I think
year.
it was the start of the year, wasn't it?
No, it was the end. I think
Oh,
it was
okay.
December.
Oh, right.
Because I even thought twice about my New Year's Eve celebrations and what I was going to do because I was like, no, my mindset.
Yeah.
So I think my mind was in the right place and it was like ready to tackle it. But then you kind of just came in and gave it like that nudge where you're like, hey. So I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I think this is meant to be.
Yeah.
Wow, yes,
Well,
I'll
yeah.
definitely try a session.
Yeah. Well, I think, you were telling me at the start you've tried to get to your goals before,
Yeah.
but then you just
Yo-yo.
went in the right mindset, right? You were so
Yeah.
focused on work and stuff. And
Yeah, always found an excuse.
Mm.
Always went like, just was like, yep, we've got to do it, got to get it done. Start it, do it for a week, stop.
Mm.
Oh, fell back. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll start next week. Oh, I'll start the week after. Next minute, 3 kilos later. Oh, what am I doing?
Yeah. Well, now you've made really good progress. Like, you have told me that you're very happy with where you are at the moment. You feel a lot better.
Yeah.
We've trained for about 12 weeks now, 13 weeks or something.
Probably.
We've done a block of 10 weeks, and then now we're into our new block of another
Yeah.
10 weeks.
Yeah.
So, that's been awesome. And how have you been feeling about your fitness journey anyway? Like, tell me basically what you started with and where you sort of heading towards now.
Well, initially, when I first started and had my first couple of sessions with you, my mindset was more like, gotta lose weight, gotta just look good, just a really superficial level. But now, I think I told you probably a few weeks ago, that I feel like I'm not really stressing about or like becoming obsessive about the actual losing weight part, but it's more like, look, I'm doing something for myself every day.
Yeah.
Like it's a discipline. And how I've been talking to you about sometimes you lose motivation, but if you keep doing it, like it just becomes a way of life.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like if I don't go to the gym, I not only feel guilty here, but I feel like my body's like, what's going on? Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people can take a lot of value from what you just said because a lot of people do go to the gym and they focus on looking better, and that's perfectly fine. But it's really good that you've found another sort of thing to appreciate.
Yeah.
And it's that internal sort of appreciation for yourself that you get to go to the gym
Yeah.
and that you are sort of working out, exercising, regardless of what you actually do. You are still getting stronger.
Yeah.
You're feeling better. You're feeling healthier.
Well,
which
it
is,
helps with mindset.
Mm.
Like, I feel like on the days that I go to the gym and start my day early in the morning and just get it done,
Yeah.
I feel like the rest of the day is it just flows well from there. Like,
Yeah.
the mental mindset.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like just the blood's pumping. I'm just like ready to go.
Yeah.
And I just feel like my productivity on that particular day, on
Yeah.
the days that I do train, they're
100%.
great. On the days that I just take a little bit of a rest,
Yeah.
it takes a bit longer to just wake up. But
Yeah.
other than that, like
Mm.
now I feel like it's actually become a part of my routine.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah.
That's good. And so I think the thing you mentioned about motivation and discipline, like there's a quote where it says, when motivation fails, discipline takes place, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I definitely think that if you are going to the gym and you are there to sort of tackle a particular goal, it's always good to have motivation, but at the end of the day, that motivation will sort of die down.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's awesome that you've built that discipline as well. Like I see you at the gym all the time, and you're there most mornings, and so it's really good that
Yeah.
you've built that sort of discipline to get your ass in there.
I got the trainer, you know.
Well, also the conversation about mindset as well, and sort of setting yourself up for the day. I know you're very busy. You're is it an associate?
Associate partner.
Associate partner here. But you're also a mum,
Yeah.
right? You're also a mum
Yeah.
of a 4-year-old?
No, he's actually 7.
He's 7. Okay, sorry. He's 7.
Yeah.
Recently, right? He recently
Yeah,
turned
he just
7.
turned 7.
Yeah, awesome. So what does your day-to-day look like? I mean, how does it work being, in a high role at an accounting firm and also a mum, and, how does that work for you?
Oh, there are times where I'm just like, I don't know how you do it, but you just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think much of it. It's just something that just needs to get done. Like, my day basically involves train in the morning. I actually like waking up pretty early in the morning. It's a bit hard now with winter, but I still want to just plow through.
Uh-huh.
So the last couple of days in particular, it's been really cold, but I've been forcing myself to wake up. So I've been waking up at 4:30, put the heater on, get physically out of bed around 4:50, go to the gym, come back, make my son's lunch, prepare breakfast, get myself set. I've even tried to do this whole mindfulness thing where I do my positive affirmations.
Nice.
And I just tell myself, you can do this, you deserve everything that is coming your way, life is a blessing, life is a gift. You have people around you who give you love and support. Yeah. So I constantly tell myself that every single day.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just sets the mood.
Good.
And then basically once my son wakes up, get him ready for school. I'm very, very lucky though, because I've got really supportive family.
Okay.
So between my parents and my in-laws, they help out a lot.
Okay.
So they actually help in terms of bringing him to school and picking him up. So I've got them on rotation.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry. I've
got
got
them
a
on
whole
rotation.
routine.
Yeah.
Got them all on rotation, and we're very, very lucky. Me and my husband are really lucky because we've just got really supportive family and friends.
That's
so
good.
I think that helps out a lot.
Mm.
And then, just basically come to work.
Yeah.
I've got a good work environment, good colleagues that I work with, great team. So for me, it might sound like, oh, how do you juggle it all? But I just feel like if you have the right people around you, it kind of just all falls into place.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has come up in previous episodes before when I've talked to other people.
Yeah.
With a very similar situation where you're very busy, you're doing a lot of stuff. Having people around you, having supportive people around you is the most important thing. Like I've said this in previous episodes where you are the outcome of the closest 5 people.
Exactly.
The 5 closest people around you, sorry.
Definitely.
And so if you have supportive people and sort of people who support your goals, who can help envision your dreams as well, I definitely think that can help a lot in your life.
Yeah, no, completely agree. Actually, my husband and I, Jeff, we were just talking about it, a week or so ago, and I was just basically you've got to take the time in your life to say thank you to those people who have helped you. So I was basically, I think he thought it was a bit weird because I'm not really the type to really express things that often about saying thank you, yes, oh, do this, do that, but like an actual thank you.
Yeah.
So he was a little bit like, oh, you know, where's this coming from? What do you want?
Oh, so you were like thanking Jeff.
Yeah, I was just like, thank you so much for, you know, supporting me through everything, because I feel like he's just always been there for me through good times and bad times. When I feel like I'm about to give up, he's like, no, keep your head up high. You can do it. You know, nothing's gonna. Don't crush your soul. Just keep going. You can do it. He's always believed in me, and even during like I know I believe in myself, but there are times where you doubt yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you have the right people around you who give you that push when you sometimes doubt yourself, it just starts to fall back into place.
Definitely.
But you go through cycles in life. You know, feelings. You go through different feelings, different moods.
There have been times as well where I felt the same.
Yeah.
Like there was
working?
there was a point in uni, or even when I started my role as a PT, where I didn't have that many clients, and so I was getting stressed about paying rent to the gym, and so like my girlfriend, for example, was just there for me. She was saying, you got this, like, you know who you are, you know that you work hard, and so if you keep working hard and keep pushing yourself, you'll get there. And so it's just those words where it's just so comforting, and just being able to not just hear stuff from someone else, but just to talk to someone else about all your struggles as well.
Agree.
And just to get it off your shoulders and off your chest is really good. Yeah.
See, you're lucky. I'm lucky.
It works out well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think for the people listening, it's definitely very important to find that sort of support group and the people who will be there for you when you are at your lowest point.
Yeah.
Because if you are hanging out with people who are just there for the fun, people who are just there when you're feeling good and you're having good stuff, you've got money or whatever, they're not going to be there for you when you're at your lowest.
Yeah.
And so finding those people, it can be hard, but finding those people who are actually, you know, people who will support you and people who will just be there for you just to talk to and just to, people who just listen.
Yeah.
I think is a very important thing to have.
Basically, like, I think you're going to go places because of your mindset, right? I think you genuinely want to help people.
Yeah.
And I feel the same. I genuinely want to help people. I genuinely want the best for people around me. So I will give it my all.
Yeah.
And sometimes that drains you.
Yeah.
Like if you are exposed to people that you're just trying to lift up. But sometimes it just gets too tiring to hold this weight up.
I agree.
That you get tired.
Yeah.
So that's where it's also important to have someone to lift you up because you're trying to hold this weight.
Yeah.
So it's like, spot me.
Yeah. Spot me. That's such a good analogy.
Right?
That's so good.
Spot me.
Yeah. That's mad.
I spot you, you spot me.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had this conversation with my girlfriend maybe last week.
Yeah.
Just about people draining energy from me.
Yes.
And like, I think we're both very selfless people.
Yes.
And
I think that's why we get along. Because I'm like, ooh, I see you.
You see that the sort of authenticity of a person, right? But yeah, I think our roles and what we do as a job in itself is just about helping people, right? You help people succeed in their businesses.
And I think that's what I love about my job the most.
Exactly, me too.
Like I think people often think that being an accountant is number crunching. But let me tell you that it goes beyond the numbers. It's about empathy. It's about 100%. Understanding people.
Yeah.
People sometimes say they want something, but then you have to listen beyond what they actually want and kind of like interpret it.
Yeah.
And you have to be perceptive.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've got to listen.
Yeah.
Like it's important it's not just about giving out advice. It's about actually sitting back and listening. And that's what I like about working here because the culture here, like that's what's drawn me to this place because that's the culture that we've always had.
Yeah.
And I think it's important as a business to make sure that you're actually looking after the individual.
Yeah.
More often than not, you see businesses just become so focused on bottom line.
Yeah.
But then later on,
they end up losing more of the bottom line. Yeah.
You lose, and your reputation, you know, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You've got to, every person is important. Doesn't matter what size.
Yeah.
They
100%.
are equally important.
Yeah.
We are all people. We are all important. As a person, I'd want to be listened to.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it doesn't matter how much I have. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
I need the same attention.
Yeah. And I think that what you're saying about getting into people's real, I guess, like, really what is their end goal.
Yeah.
Like for me as a PT, whenever someone comes to me, very typical for someone just to say, oh, I want to lose weight or I want to gain weight.
That's why I came to you.
Yeah,
but you went beyond that.
Yeah, and so internally there's more to it. Like for anyone who is is aspiring to be a PT or anyone who is already a PT, my best advice is whenever someone says they want to gain weight or lose weight, there's always something underneath it.
Yeah.
And so I find that it's my role to really get to understand the person and to really figure out what is pushing them to want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Because obviously, the way you look will impact the way you feel.
Yeah.
And so that goes deeper than that as well. Like the way you feel will impact your behaviors.
The way you feel is reflected on your outside too.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a little bit of a cycle, but
yeah.
I definitely think if you can get deeper into what a person is trying to achieve, whether that be through their business or through their fitness goals, you win because you get
couldn't
to
agree
understand.
more.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, like, I've noticed you as a trainer, like a lot of people are drawn to you. Honestly, when I first started, it's like 10 weeks.
That's it.
I'll be done. 10 weeks, 10 kilos, done.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, no, because I want to keep going because I'm like, there's so much to learn.
Yeah.
And you're constantly educating. And it's not just even educating in terms of like, oh, this is how you live. This is your form.
Yeah.
No, I feel like when I actually have a session with you, you're teaching me proper breathing techniques.
Yeah.
And I think that's even important, like an important coping mechanism for like stressful days, how to breathe properly. I realized last week that I have been breathing very superficially.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it wasn't until you were like, no, breathe through your belly. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I realized, look, you didn't even realize, but that's useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so with my clients, I try to figure out what they do on their day-to-day as well. Like, for example, I know that you're in an office all the time.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of other clients who are at the desk all the time. And so I try to almost like program your workout so that you can do, for example, I've shown you exercises to do in the office or at home, stretching and stuff like that as well.
I've got a yoga mat in there.
Oh, do you?
Just FYI.
Yeah. And so stuff like that where I feel like just going that further step, going that extra step just to show that you do care.
Yeah.
Because I generally do care. Like, I want you to be feeling good throughout the whole day, not just when you're at the gym. Because at the end of the day, when you're at the gym, you're there for 1 hour of the 24 hours of the day. Yeah. And so I think there's so much more that I can actually help with.
That's what people appreciate, a holistic approach.
Yeah. 100%.
It's not going, oh, I'm a personal trainer. I'm confined into just teaching you if you're doing the correct form.
Yeah.
I feel like you go beyond that. You try to understand every client.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why, like, we see eye to eye with our strategy.
Because you do the same for your clients too.
It's not just, there's some aspects that might trample over, like, a legal matter or a financial, financial advice. Well, we put our clients to the correct person that will be able to assist them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's about thinking. Like, you've got to think. You can't just go, oh, oops, I've just been engaged to do the accounts. Yeah, I've just been engaged to provide some reports. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
You've got to go, well, if I was a client, what would I want someone to do for me? I think that's one of the things that people appreciate, that you're actually thinking about their whole situation. You're trying to understand them.
Yeah.
So I think it doesn't even matter what business you're in. If you're in PT, accounting, law, whatever profession, medical. Yeah. If you show people that you're genuinely thinking and you're doing the best for them to get a good result,
you win.
You win.
Yeah, 100%.
You win.
Yeah.
People do all these courses like, oh, how do I do this? How do I get that?
Just be human.
Exactly. Be human. I want to automate this. This is going to get me better things. No, it's about being human. Yeah. We forget that. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the best advice that can come from this conversation is just like, if you're running a business or even at your job, right? If you're just an employee, same thing goes. If you can just show someone that you're human, you're genuine, you're authentic, you'll go far in life. Because I think if...
And you just back it up with your knowledge too.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to have knowledge too.
Knowledge is
You've got to have that knowledge too. But ultimately, if you can get the knowledge and then back it up with just being genuine, being empathetic, being,
it separates you by far from the competition.
Yeah. And I feel like for us, it's just like, it's common sense. Yeah. But for a lot of people, but for a lot of people, it's like,
it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Yeah, and I kind of sit back sometimes and go, how can it be difficult to show empathy? How can it be difficult to just smile at someone? If you're walking in the street, just smile. Yeah. A simple smile can make someone's day.
100%.
Yeah. So it's just like, give people courtesy, give them respect. Just be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So that very, very simple advice is just be a human.
Yeah, be human. Be human.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Yeah. Well, what sort of brought you to where you are today? I mean, you are an associate partner.
Yeah.
Tell me about your past experience.
I actually started off in a company that had a similar ethos to here.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was just circumstances changed in my life. My son actually started school.
Okay.
I needed a bit of a change.
Mm.
I was driving a fair bit, commuting to work, and I was like, ooh, this is a bit difficult.
Yeah,
like,
right.
how am I going to do this? If you just start thinking as a mom, you're like, oh, what if there's an emergency at school?
Yeah.
How close am I to my son? Well, that would have been a long drive.
Mm.
So I just started reassessing things. There were a few personal things that started to happen in my life, which kind of like started to make me think, oh, like, what am I doing?
Mm.
You know, when you just go through like a difficult time, you start thinking about your overall life and you start putting things into perspective. I honestly think these things happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me was like, well, where am I going to work? But basically, I was thinking, well, I'm restricted to the city or Liverpool. What am I going to find in Liverpool? Like, that's initially what I thought.
Yeah, right.
Oh boy, I was so wrong about, like, I think people, like, I automatically had this conception that Liverpool, accounting firm, Liverpool?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Came here, had an interview with the 3 partners at the time, and I was like blown away.
Okay.
You know when you just meet
People.
They talk about their culture,
Yeah.
and you just feel in your heart you fit in.
Okay.
They're just straight to the point.
Yeah.
This is what we believe in. This is how we do things.
Yeah.
We focus on value-added service.
Mm-hmm.
We're not here to crunch numbers.
Okay.
Yes, it's part of the equation, but it's all about the client.
Wow.
And I was like, ooh, you speak to my heart, because that's how I've been brought up.
Yeah, right.
By my previous mentor.
Okay.
So I was like, wow.
Mm.
And then when I started working here, I realized, wow, there's still a lot to learn.
Wow.
And they've definitely like helped.
Taught you a lot.
They're all about like developing every member of the staff. So we focus a lot on training, development.
That's good.
Mental health.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Definitely all for that.
And so what pushed you to get into accounting? Can I guess?
You know what was really funny? No, not my parents.
Okay.
No.
I was going to say parents, but...
No.
Okay.
My mom wanted me to be a nurse.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you told me.
Yeah,
yes.
she said, you should be a nurse because you will get a job.
Yeah.
And my whole family is like in medical science.
Right.
So they were pushing me towards being a nurse. So in school, biology, chemistry, didn't do any commerce, business studies.
Oh, really?
None of that. Maybe legal studies.
Okay.
But it was mainly around science.
Uh-huh.
But it's quite funny, actually. I probably since I was like 9 wanted to be an accountant.
Since you were 9?
Yeah.
What?
I loved math.
Really?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I really loved it.
You love maths.
Yeah. So I always heard from people that if you love maths, you can be an accountant. So I was like, well, I will be an accountant then. And I didn't really know what it involved.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be an accountant. It was either that or I'd be a flight attendant.
Oh, okay, it's like 2 completely different things.
Very different, but I was always told that I would never be tall enough to be a flight attendant.
Oh, I see.
So I was like, well, I'll just stick to the numbers game.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, I just thought that was accounting, and it was just all about numbers.
Yeah.
Like solving like little problems.
What level of maths did you do in high school?
Oh, I did 3 unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get the 4 unit. But you don't need 4 units.
So you didn't love
for
maths
accounting.
that much then?
No, I loved maths when I was in primary school.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, right.
And then as I got older, I realized, no, I don't think I love that type of maths. Like, I love, like, the maths.
1 + 1.
The maths enough to get you through accounting.
Yeah, right.
You
okay.
don't need to know about all those integration,
Yeah.
differentiation,
Yeah.
and all of that. You know, there's calculators for that. You'll be fine. Yeah.
For that.
But basically, I wanted to be an accountant from the time I was a kid because I always thought it was about the numbers game. But then I realized when I was at uni that there was more to it. And then when I was in second year uni, I managed to get my first accounting job.
Right.
So I was like 19, second year.
Wait, so when did you decide, because your mum was pushing you to get into nursing and you were doing a lot of science subjects, when did you decide that you wanted to enroll in an accounting degree?
Oh, I just didn't listen to my mum.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was
right.
like, sorry, mum, I can't do, like, I don't think I have it in me. Like, I think I will struggle.
Yeah.
Being a nurse is really hard.
Mm.
Like, the emotional strain.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I knew for myself that I can't do it. Like, it takes a different kind of person
Yeah,
to be
for
a
sure.
nurse and
Definitely.
to care for people. So
Yeah.
I have so much respect for them, and I just knew I couldn't do it myself because like there's a different kind of strength required, and I knew I just didn't have it in me.
Fair enough.
So I was like, sorry, mum, like, no. And they're all for it. My dad was an accountant in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
And my mum was a teacher in the Philippines. My sister became a teacher. I became an accountant. We copied them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then basically when I started doing accounting, I remember I didn't really know much about it, to be honest. I remember I went for my first accounting interview, and the man that was interviewing me was like, "Oh, do you want to be in public or private accounting?" And I was like, "Private?" And he was like, "Well, you've come to the wrong place."
Oh, shit.
Obviously didn't get that job. So I was like, mental note to myself. If someone asks me and I'm going for an accounting firm interview, I have to say public.
Yeah.
So I was like, public practice. I got the job.
Oh, well done. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So you got into your first accounting job. What happened then? Were you enjoying it? Were you dreading it? What was it like?
I found it challenging because it wasn't what I had expected.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting myself to sit in a back office and just plow through reports.
You wanted that?
Not really.
Oh.
I just didn't really know. Like,
Okay.
like I was just like a 19-year-old kind of just going with it.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just kind of stumbled into it and it just kind of like fell into place for me.
Okay.
So I was a little bit surprised because there's like a whole different ballgame when it comes to public practice accounting.
So then what actually happened then?
Well, my boss at the time was like, well, you need to get in front of the client.
Right, so you have to
I was
talk to
like,
them.
how do I get in front of the client when, like, yeah, like, hi, like, a part of me was like, oh, and you just start to feel nervous. I remember, like, getting completely nervous every time I had to, like, talk to a client. My voice was shaky.
Oh, right.
I wasn't, like, I just wasn't that confident.
Yeah. But you were intern, right?
Yeah, a junior.
So you were a junior.
Wanted me to call clients to just be like,
wow.
oh, just letting you know. I was just nervous. Like,
Yeah.
I used to be so nervous about it.
Oh, okay.
But I think basically throwing me in the deep end kind of made me learn.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes you've just got to be thrown in the deep end. I mean, obviously I wasn't advising on certain matters, but it was just like more, like, you know, more basic things.
Yeah.
But over time that gave me the confidence. And then obviously as you learn more on the job, your knowledge and, you know, working and studying at uni, it just starts to like gel together.
Yeah.
So I was able to apply the different concepts that I was learning theoretically into a practical situation.
That's good.
So it was a lot easier. Like, I highly recommend studying and working in your field if you're lucky enough.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I was blessed to be
right.
able to do that.
Yeah.
Because it just completely made everything just gel together
Makes
in my
sense.
mind.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's different seeing it in a textbook and applying it in real life.
Yeah.
You've got to, like, there's a lot of variables.
So
I was a bit like, oof, I don't know. Do I really want to do this?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I realized, wait, no. I like talking to people.
Okay.
I like trying to get a good result for them.
But
I like helping people.
When you first started, were you not a confident public speaker or something? Or?
Was not confident.
Oh, I see.
I remember one time I was like calling a client. Wasn't really the nicest person. He was like, "What kind of accent is that?
What?
Like, what is your background?
Really?
Like, why do you talk like that?"
Whoa.
I felt pretty crushed. I was like,
Oh, damn.
what is wrong with me? But I think it was just a bit of a joke.
Yeah, right.
But it kind of like, I was still quite young and
That's
naive.
still pretty tough to
It
be
was
like.
tough. I was a bit like, it's how I was born. Yeah. I was still young. I was like a 19-year-old. And, you know, you come across different types of personalities.
Yeah.
You can't, sometimes you can read them, sometimes you can't.
Mm.
Sometimes, like, you just have to take everything lightly.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into some sort of challenges that you've faced.
Yeah.
What do you think has been your toughest challenge so far in terms of the career?
Toughest challenge.
Do you feel like you faced any sort of discrimination because you were a woman or because you were Asian?
I mean, not anything substantial enough for me to like remember.
Okay.
So, but then in saying that as well, I think growing up, like, I don't know, like I've faced racism.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you just take it's like what's great about society now is we're more aware about these social issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think kids nowadays, like my son, they're more fortunate in that people are more educated, people are more aware that we're all the same person, we just come in different packages.
Yeah.
I always explain that to my son. Like,
Right.
I'm like, there's different, we all look different, but that's what makes us us. But at the end of the day, we all have a heart. We all have a brain.
Yeah.
We all have feelings. We
Okay.
all have the same thing, but we just come in different packaging.
Yeah.
Like a different branding.
Completely true.
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up, my parents were like migrant parents. Like they migrated here.
Yeah.
So I think there's obviously cultural difference. My parents couldn't really explain to me why people were being racist. I remember one time
Oh, really?
we were at Terrigal, and then someone threw a firecracker at us when we were fishing, and they're like, "Go back to where you came from."
Wow.
That's probably the only time I've come across that. But in terms of my professional career, I haven't come across any significant like circumstances that have actually like hurt me enough for me to remember. Yeah, there's a few comments thrown here and there, but you take it lightly. You don't let it bother you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you go, well, I feel sorry for you that you feel that way.
Yeah.
I hope you learn one day, but you know, that's you. I'll do me.
I think it's an awesome attitude to have.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we can't change society. We're
can't.
just the one person.
But we can educate.
100%.
We can educate our kids.
Yeah.
Whenever we see something that's not right, we speak up. You just need to speak up.
Yeah.
You need to let them know that they can't get away with it. It's fine. Like, you know, look, I feel sorry for you that you feel that way, but like, I can't blame you. Like, you know, at the end of the day, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. But I'm not going to let it impact me.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach my kids that you don't treat people like that.
Yeah.
And hopefully over time, just filters out.
Yeah. Just filters out.
Just filters out.
Yeah. No, I think that's really awesome. Like, honestly, my personal opinion is that a lot of people in society have gotten to, what's the word? Like, I guess, like everything triggers them.
Yeah.
Right? Like you get triggered by every little thing.
Oversensitive at times.
Yeah. I feel like people are sometimes a bit too oversensitive. And it's not like I'm saying that racism is good or it's fine. It's definitely not fine. But at the same time, sometimes you just can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And the other person, no matter what you say to them, they're not
going to
the same way.
change.
Yeah.
You can't control how someone behaves.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what you can control is how it impacts you.
And then also how you react.
Yeah, how it impacts you and how you react.
Yeah.
So if you know in your heart that you haven't done anything wrong by anyone.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
100%. Yeah, I agree. Awesome. So tell me about, I know that you're doing this women in business thing that as part of your company or something.
Yeah, it's a
Tell me more about
concept that we want to launch it. It's still very much in development phase. But basically what we want to do, our business is mostly women.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, we feel that there are a lot of women in the accounting field.
Okay.
But women at the top of the game.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like women in the accounting industry and, you know, professional industry need to support each other more. So what we're trying to do is, coming from a business where we're predominantly women, we would like to try and extend ourselves to provide some extra support.
Okay.
More often than not, you'll see that the accounting industry is run by middle-aged men. Sometimes a woman can get intimidated by that.
Yeah.
So we basically want to reach out to women who are starting their own business, might feel a little bit intimidated, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
want to know that they're doing, whether or not they're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, being a woman these days is not that easy.
Yeah.
You're juggling constantly.
I wouldn't know, but tell us more about it.
I'm telling you, being a woman these days is not easy.
Okay.
Like, you're not only expected to, well, you hope that there's more equality. I'm very lucky because household-wise, we share the load.
Mm.
But I think there's still that traditional view that a woman still should maintain the house.
Yeah, right.
And I think it's changing.
Yeah.
But there's still that expectation that women have the kids. We still have to have...
Oh, yes. Women still have to have the kids.
There's no technology yet.
So technology for males to have...
Yeah, for males to have the kid yet.
Yeah.
But maybe in the future. But, we as women, we go through a lot. Our bodies go through a lot. Having a kid is like a big thing.
Yeah.
Not to mention the after effects, the hormones, the monthlies, all the bits and pieces that you go through as a woman.
Yeah.
So imagine that you're running the household, you're raising your kids, and you're trying to have a career.
Yeah.
Or trying to start your business. Or you're trying to do something for yourself. I think for myself, I like being a mum, but at the same time, I feel like I need to have something for myself. And I think there's other women out there that probably feel the same. So we want to target those women that need that extra push, like that need that support, need that network. So that's what we're going to try to do. It's in development phase at the moment, but we just want them to all know that they're not alone. We're all here for each other. Women who empower other women will all be right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
And so in terms of that sort of goal or that sort of, I guess, like, how do I call it? I guess like little department or strategy.
Yeah.
Would it become like a niche for you guys to target women in business, like women in small businesses?
Particularly for me, I'd like to
sort of head.
Also let women know that they can come to me for help and advice, not just from a business perspective.
Okay.
But basically overall, because women who support women are happy women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. We're all here to empower each other.
Yeah. That's really good. Awesome. Well, that sounds like a really good plan. And for me as well, I'm all about empowering people, whether they're female or male. Like, I like to treat my clients the same way.
Yeah.
But I do understand that women have specific needs.
Yeah.
And so I just have to be able to juggle those needs and make sure that they're comfortable in the gym. Because obviously at a gym, most of the time it's male dominant. There are a lot of males.
Sometimes get intimidated.
You do, yeah.
Like that time my towel got taken away from the bench. I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Why did they take my towel away?
Yeah, it can be really rough for a female at a gym. And so for me as a trainer, I think my goal is to, one, tell them that it's okay to come to the gym.
Yeah.
And it's like you'd hope that no one is going to sort of impact them in a negative way. But also empower them to a point where they are confident to just come to the gym by themselves. Get some weights, get some barbells, get some dumbbells, and just do it by themselves.
Agree.
That's the point that I wanted all my clients to. Not just my male clients, but female clients too.
You've definitely given me that confidence because prior to training with you, I'd never ventured into the weight section of the gym. I used to just go to the cardio.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, nope, not going there, don't know what I'm doing, don't want to embarrass myself. I feel a bit intimidated, especially with all the grunting at times. It was like, nah, can't do that. So I think by training with you, you kind of like made me feel more confident with, look, you can do this.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about people around you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think even if you don't know what you're doing, like most of the times people aren't even looking at you. A lot of people who start, not just females.
I check people's forms now because
do you?
of you.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't blame me.
I mean, I don't go up to them and go, hey, your form. But I'm kind of like, you didn't engage your call at that time.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But I guess like for a lot of people who first start at the gym, who are also, I guess, not confident as well, my goal is, even if you aren't really too sure about what you're doing, most of the time, people aren't even looking at you.
No.
Like, people go into the gym and think, oh, everyone's going to look at me, everyone's going to watch what I'm doing and stuff. 99% of the time, people are worried about the same shit. Like, people are worried about other people looking at them.
I haven't seen myself in any of those videos, those video compilations of what not to do at the gym. So I think that's a start.
Well, I mean, a lot of people just they just think, oh, people are gonna watch me. People are gonna criticize what I'm gonna do. But most of the time, people are worried about the same shit. Like, people are all worried. Everyone is worried about people watching themselves.
You just hope you don't injure yourself. That's all.
100%. Just make sure that you train properly and train safe.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, what do you think is next for you? I mean, what's your goal now? You've spoken about women in business, that whole thing there. Where do you see yourself in terms of your career, or just in life in general?
I just want to develop myself. Like, I reckon you can't just say, oh, I'm done. I've gotten to where I am.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always room for improvement. I basically want to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be.
Yeah.
For work, for family, for my son, for my friends, for everyone. So my goal is just, I think you should always learn something every day. If you're not learning something every day, well, you're slowly dying.
Well, I think that mindset is really good. Like, I have that same mindset as well, where I just want to be a better person than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm achieving that, I want to keep growing and keep moving along.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also how opportunities get presented to you as well.
Yeah.
I think that if you're always constantly developing yourself, people will see that. People will see that you're always growing, and people will see that you have that mindset too.
Yeah.
And so when you do have that mindset, you're almost, I guess the term would be coachable.
Yeah.
People are happy to teach you and coach you and develop you in a way where you can keep progressing and get to a point where you are happy with where you are, but now there's also, like, what's next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there is always what's next. With the end of the financial year fast approaching, I am due to set my goals for the new year. I always take this time as my opportunity to set goals, whether it be financial, family goals, health goals.
Oh, really?
I do it every 6 months.
So, right.
Yeah,
okay. So you're not just based on financial year. You're based off, like, the new year, actual year, and financial year.
Yeah, well, I set my annual budget goal that I give to my husband. And I'm like, this is where I'm at. This is where, like, you're at. This is where we want to be.
Wow.
How do you feel about that?
Okay.
We've actually been doing that since we started dating.
Really?
Yeah, we've always set goals every year.
Wow.
Like, we always just used to sit down, and that's what I love about him, because he, like, supports these goals and he contributes to these goals, and we just work together as a team.
It's really good.
Yeah.
That's
so it's just like, well, by this age I want this. Like, by that age, I mean, life doesn't always go to plan.
Yeah.
But if you don't plan, you plan to fail.
Definitely.
That's what we say.
Yeah.
So you understand, there's always flexibility. Things don't always go to plan.
But you got to have those goals set in place.
But you've got to have something to work towards.
Yeah.
You set yourself short-term, long-term goals. Yeah, long-term, but that's very far away. So you set yourself little goals in the current time. Yeah. So I set myself a lot of financial goals.
Okay.
Not necessarily follow them strictly, because there's sometimes great sale here and there. But overall, I have a framework to work towards.
Yeah, nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And so in terms of that, like, financial goal, do you think it's helped you structure your life better?
Definitely.
Or? Okay.
Definitely.
So you recommend doing that?
Yeah. I definitely recommend regularly budgeting.
Yeah.
Looking at cash flow. I think you should always have stuff for rainy days, because you just never know.
I agree, yeah.
And
sure.
I think you should just always, like, maybe not get too overconsumed on the future and, like, not live in the now, but you've got to have the right balance. You've got to live a little now, but you've also got to make sure you've got enough for the future.
Yeah.
So, again, a balancing act.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, is there anything else that you want to discuss or mention? Anything that you want to sort of
I can talk
about?
forever if you want to.
Whatever you want to, whenever you want to talk about.
No, I'm pretty much, I think it's all, like, I think it's important for everyone to have the right mindset, the right support network. That's just basically recapping everything we've discussed today. It helps you get through life.
Yeah.
Gets through every aspect of life.
In terms of your mindset, what's, I guess, one sentence or one sort of, like, way you could summarize the mindset that you have for yourself?
I'm very determined and competitive. So I don't really know how that came about, but
okay.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I compete on a daily basis.
Do you?
With my husband.
About what?
Like little things, like who can button up the bed cover the fastest.
Really?
Yeah, if we're like changing the quilts.
Yeah.
Who can get the most buttons, or little things. It just makes things fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like being competitive, and I've always seen how hard my mum and dad worked, and I think that was instilled in me. And I don't know. I think it's a lot to do with how you've been brought up.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do the same with my son. Yeah.
And say, for example, someone hasn't been sort of brought up in a way where they've had a supportive family or anything.
There's always, it's about your inner self. You can't like grow, like your past can influence who you've become, but who you're going to be, that's on you.
Yeah, and you
can blame it as much on the past, but you can make a decision for yourself to be who you want to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow. Where
Are
is this coming from,
inspired?
Melissa? Where? I don't know, but I think it's coming from here. Coming from the heart.
You're pretty inspirational. You should get your own quote board.
I think I should.
Yeah, Run That Walk by Melissa Keeg.
Yeah, we should start like a life coaching place.
Well, I definitely think, like, 100% agree with what you're saying. And I have a quote where it's like the single most independent variable to your success is yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you control your success.
Yeah.
You determine whether or not you're going to succeed tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like a lot of people, they try to find excuses for not being able to succeed.
Yeah.
When in this age right now, a lot of people, even yourself, you say, oh, you young guys it's so hard for you guys to live life right now. It is. Like,
it is.
Houses are expensive.
Yeah, they are. And you've got to hustle really hard to get
exactly.
there.
But the thing is,
you
even
can't
if
blame it on that. You
yeah.
still have to have the mentality.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm telling you, you're going to go places.
Thanks.
Because you've got the right mindset and you've got the right support network.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Who thinks who wants to see Calvin in 10 years' time as a CEO, successful, young entrepreneur of the year? No. I believe that's going to happen. Here.
No, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is just, if people are trying to find excuses all the time to not succeed, you're not going to fucking succeed.
Nope.
I want to swear, dude. You're not going to fucking succeed. No. Full stop.
You won't. You won't. Because you're just forever looking for excuses. Yeah. You'll never get there.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to be like, oh, I would like to do this, but...
There's always a but.
No, there's no but. If you want to do it, get it.
Yeah.
We live in a society. We're very lucky. We live in this country. We live in a society where if you want something, go and get it.
Yeah. And back to what you're saying about how, like, you always say that you guys are doing it tough, young people are doing it tough. I do agree that there are some things which are very, very difficult to, like, living in Sydney is very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. But at the same time, living in Sydney is one of the best opportunities that you can have. There are so many opportunities here in Sydney.
Yeah.
Job opportunities to start your own business, so many government grants that people are willing to give you money to do what you want to do.
But not everyone sees that.
100%.
And I think one of the most important mindsets is, and this is a mindset I like to follow as well and live by. Basically, you could be going through a really, really difficult time, but honestly, it could be much worse.
100%.
There are other people that are struggling to find food for the day. I mean, even the impact of COVID. My goodness. Yes, we've been inconvenienced with some lockdowns here and there. Yes, some businesses are suffering. Yeah, and I feel for those. My heart goes out to them. But there are people in other countries that can't even afford to put food on their kids' tables. Yeah. Like, they can't feed their kids.
Like, honestly, if you have a roof over your head, if you have running water, and if you have food readily available, you're in the luckiest fucking position to live, honestly. Because there are people who don't have a roof over their head. They're living on freaking bamboo sticks or whatever. Yeah. People who don't have access to running water have to walk 2 or 3 kilometers down, the desert to get water. Yeah. And there's no food.
But as a society here, because we're like lucky and we have all these things, we put social expectations on ourselves that it has to be this way. And I think that's why sometimes we get so caught up in that, and then we lose sight of the fact that we are lucky. Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, if you're always focusing on negativity and things that are not going right, well, your mindset changes. It goes down. Yeah. Whereas if you try and remind yourself of all the things you're grateful for, that's why I think it's really, really important to basically exercise gratitude every morning.
100%.
If you tell yourself what you're grateful for, you remember. You remember throughout the day. yes, okay, that person's being difficult. Oh, yes, this is challenging. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's only temporary.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's so many other things to be grateful for. You
Yeah.
get through it.
Yeah.
Once you get through that, that was easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think mindset is really, really important. And that's what will get you far in life.
I do agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think no matter what position you're in, if you have the wrong mindset, you're going to fail. If you have the right mindset, you'll succeed.
Yeah.
We'll stop.
Yeah.
And so the thing you say about gratitude and practicing gratitude, I preach it really hard. Like if you follow me on my socials on Instagram, follow me, kelvintrend.fitness if you don't already. You'll see that I post up my daily affirmations. Like I post it up almost.
I do. I read it.
Did
and
you?
I was like, this is great. This is so fantastic.
A lot of people have
I need to
replied
copy
to
and
that.
paste that.
Yeah.
And add it to mine.
Yeah, a lot of people have actually replied to that and said like, "This is so good." Like, yeah. And a lot of it.
Haters gonna be haters.
Yeah, fuck the haters. The haters gonna hate, man.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is just you control your life. You are the single most important variable of your success. No other person is going to influence you the way that you do yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And the other thing is just expressing gratitude. Like you are one of the luckiest people to be alive right now.
Yeah.
If you have a roof on your head, you have a job, you have money in your bank account.
Yeah.
Even if it's a few dollars, you still have money.
Yeah.
And if you want to succeed, you have to just work hard and make something of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in addition to gratitude, it's also important to tell those people that you're grateful for how grateful you are for them. Because that can make a big difference to someone's day as well. Life is so short.
Yeah.
You never know. We are certain of two things in life. You're going to pay tax and you're going to die one day. You know those two things.
Right.
So, I mean, the tax, let us help you with that.
Yes. Come to Mel if you want help with your tax.
Optimum Business Advisory. No, but yeah, we all know that, we're here on borrowed time. I know it's such a eerie subject to talk about.
Yeah, but it's true.
But the fact of the matter is it's true. And you need to make sure you live your life with no regrets.
Yeah.
If you want to tell someone that you love them and that you're grateful for them, do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about your pride. Just do it.
I think that's a lot of what I've been trying to work on as well.
Yeah.
I feel like even though I say that I'm grateful and everything and I preach it very hard, I find it, I guess, not difficult to tell someone that I'm grateful for them, but it's just, I just don't do it enough.
Yeah.
And I just want to.
It's funny, hey.
Yeah. I just feel like I don't do it enough, especially with my family.
Yeah.
Because
you're so caught up in the day to day, and you always expect that they're going to be there.
And I think at home, I just sort of I switch off at home. I just, because I'm so focused.
You're on the go constantly.
Yeah, on the go all the time. Like, for example, my mum is always there, and she's like, "Hey, have some food, eat this," but she knows how tired I am.
Yeah.
Which I really need to be more grateful, and tell her. I am very grateful for it, but I just don't tell her enough.
Yeah.
And so, some days I go to sleep, I'm like, fuck, I should have just told her that thank you so much.
I feel the same sometimes.
Really?
You just get so caught up sometimes, and you just hi, how are you? Good. You don't really have the meaningful conversations that you probably should have with them, because you kind of
take it
for granted.
Yeah.
And
it's ironic that we talk about gratitude but take our family for granted.
Yeah. And so that's something that I'm consciously working on.
Same.
Day in, day out. I'm like, I better go and check up on my parents, see how they're going, let them know that I'm here. My mum is so good in telling me how grateful she is for my help. But I need, I think sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, you're going to pick up your grandson. Yeah, you have to. Why can't you pick him up? And I realize, that's a little bit demanding.
Yeah.
And so I try to make a conscious effort and say to her and my dad, thank you. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Probably should do it a lot more, but trying. This is part of developing, improving yourself day in, day out.
Definitely. It's just trying to be a better person than you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And so just that one little conversation could even make their day. If you have a kid who just says thank you to you and says that they're grateful, any parent would be happy, right?
Yeah. And I've noticed that this kid knows how to do it. And it's so heartwarming.
Yeah.
So part of me is well, how come me as an adult, I have to make a conscious effort? But I mean, at the end of the day, you're so busy.
Yeah.
There's always something that comes up and you forget.
Yeah.
But as long as we're conscious of it,
yeah,
we'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just identifying those weaknesses that we have in ourselves and just not being too proud about, not having an ego really, and just dropping that ego and just saying, this is what I need to work on and I want to work on it. That's the best way to just keep developing, keep growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always said I'm 99% perfect, but there's that 1% that I have to keep working on.
Yeah.
There's still 1%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Might be 99% perfect, but 1% still needs improvement.
Yeah.
And that's forever. Just keep going.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, that was a really awesome conversation. I'm really glad that we got the opportunity to sit down and have a chat.
Yeah. I can talk forever.
I know, you can talk forever. I know. During our sessions, you...
That's a really quick session. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's over already? Wow, I must be enjoying myself.
Well, thanks so much. If you guys want to find Mel, where can they find you?
You can find me by looking up Optimum Business Advisory or giving me a call if you want.
Give her a ring.
0298212455.
There you go. So if you want to find Mel, she's situated in Liverpool. Any of your business advisory needs, I definitely
recommend. And there's no
her.
limit to your location. We can help you no matter where your business is located.
Even overseas?
Yeah.
Really?
We've got overseas clients.
Really?
Yeah, we've got clients that don't live in here, live in Australia.
Wow.
We liaise with them. How good is technology?
That's pretty awesome. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
If you want to find Mel, if this goes international, this is where you can find Mel, right in her office in Liverpool. If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram at kelvintran.fitness. I'm always on Instagram. Or you can also go to Daily Hustle, dailyhustle.apparel on Instagram. You can also go to our website, daily-hustle.co, to get any of our merchandise.
Don't forget to get that merchandise. They 100%. Are really good quality t-shirts.
Also, little hint here, I've got some stuff here that's not released, but we'll make another video about that. Just keep it hush-hush for now. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate that you've sat down and just listened to us ramble on for about an hour. Hope you guys got a lot out of this conversation, and hopefully we provide you guys with some value.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Catch you guys in the next episode.
See you.